The unfreezing reason your own blood still carries a silent truce with something ancient. And in 2016, on Russia's Yamal Peninsula, that truce broke. A 12-year-old boy died. Dozens more were rushed to hospitals. The cause was a disease frozen solid for 75 years, released not by a weapon, not by a lab, but by warm weather thawing the ground under a herd of reindeer. Your immune system has never met most of what's buried in that ground. Permafrost covers nearly a quarter of the Northern Hemisphere's land. It isn't just dirt, it's a vault. Inside it, ancient carbon, ancient methane, ancient microbes, sealed since before your species had language. For thousands of years, the cold did the guarding. You never had to think about it. But the vault door is failing, and the thing about a truce nobody remembers signing is that you don't get a warning before it ends. Somewhere in Siberia right now, the ground is opening. And scientists who have studied it for decades are telling you, plainly, they cannot close it back up. Look at the Badageka crater. Locals call it the gateway to the underworld, and once you see it, you understand why. It's over a kilometer wide and swallowing more ground every year in places. The collapsing wall retreats 30 meters annually. That wall is a timeline. Each layer of exposed earth is older than the one above it, stacked like tree rings going back 200,000 years. Scientists walk down into it like descending through time itself, reading Ice Age summers and Ice Age winters in frozen mud. But Badageka isn't a museum. It's a wound that keeps widening, and it started from something as small as a road cutting through the wrong patch of soil in the 1960s. One disturbance. 60 years later, the crater is still growing, still exposing new depths, and there is no known way to make it stop. So they tried anyway. Russian and international teams have insulated slopes with reflective panels. They've packed snow to keep summer heat out. In one experiment called Pleistocene Park, scientists reintroduced bison, horses, and even attempted mammoth-adjacent breeding programs, betting that heavy animals trampling snow would keep the ground colder, the way it stayed cold for Ice Age millennia. Early results looked promising in small test plots. Then the models were run at true Arctic scale, and the numbers broke the optimism. You cannot hurt enough animals, insulate enough ground, or refreeze enough soil to counter a warming atmosphere. The interventions work, technically. They just don't work fast enough or big enough to matter against what's coming. Here's what's actually coming. Permafrost doesn't melt evenly like an ice cube on a counter. It fails suddenly in events called abrupt thaw ground that looks solid one season, then collapses into a lake the next, sometimes overnight. Those new lakes are called thermokarst lakes, and if you walked onto one in winter and drilled through the ice, you could light the water on fire. Not a metaphor. Trapped methane bubbles up through the frozen surface, and researchers have filmed it igniting like a blowtorch. Permafrost worldwide holds an estimated 1,600 billion tons of carbon, nearly double what's currently in Earth's entire atmosphere. When it thaws, microbes that have waited millennia finally wake up and start digesting that ancient plant matter, breathing out carbon dioxide and methane as they go. It's not one dramatic collapse. It's trillions of tiny, patient decompositions, all switching on at once, all releasing greenhouse gas that then warms the planet further, which thaws more ground, which wakes more microbes. That 2016 anthrax outbreak came from a single reindeer carcass, dead for 75 years, exposed by a heat wave. Scientists have since confirmed viable ancient viruses recovered from permafrost cores are still infectious after being frozen for over 48,000 years. Your body's truce with the deep past assumed that door would never open again. This is the part that should sit with you. The permafrost carbon feedback isn't a distant Arctic problem. It's a global thermostat quietly losing its calibration. Every degree the Arctic warms accelerates ground collapse, which accelerates the very emissions driving that warming, independent of anything happening at your gas pump or in any parliament. Coastal communities built on frozen foundations are already watching buildings tilt and roads buckle as the ground beneath them turns soft for the first time in human memory. And every newly thawed layer is a roll of the dice on what else comes with it: bacteria, viruses, spores that evolved in a world with no modern immune systems built to recognize them. Nobody is cataloging all of it. Nobody can. The vault is too big, and it's opening faster than anyone can read what's inside before it's already loose. So here's the question nobody at Badageka wants to answer directly. If a single thawed reindeer carcass could hospitalize dozens of people and kill a child, what's still sitting intact in the 200,000 years of ground that hasn't collapsed yet? Scientists don't know. They're not being coy, they genuinely cannot know until the ground gives way and shows them. The crater is still growing tonight. Somewhere under that widening edge, something that hasn't touched open air since before humans existed is waiting for the thaw to reach it. The only real question left is what wakes up next, and whether your body will recognize it when it does.